It's my pleasure now to introduce the Deputy Premier of Ontario and the Minister of Energy and Infrastructure. It's a gentleman that's been active in all three levels of government, but the healthcare world knows him best from his tenure as the Health Minister from 2003 to 2008, when he applied his typical determination to begin the process of overhauling healthcare in Ontario. He certainly understands the Bridgepoint case. He gets it in terms of complex chronic disease. You should also know that he's been a long-time champion of Bridgepoint Health. It was during his term that the minister gave the green light for Bridgepoint to begin developing the plans for a new hospital. And only last year, Premier McGuinty's government approved the funding for this incredibly visionary project. So, ladies and gentlemen, please join me in welcoming the Deputy Premier of Ontario, George Smitherman.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Well, I want to give a hearty shout out to the folks that are in the auditorium and to express the great satisfaction that I have in the privilege of participating in this, what I think is properly viewed as a historic occasion. I especially want to say to the patients and to the community that depends so much upon the loving care that the staff provide here, with so much support from a strong base of volunteers, from our chair of the chair of the hospital, through all of the committees, the foundation, the numerous philanthropists. When everybody in a community, including the governmental representatives, decide to come together, then great things can happen. And I'm really privileged to be in the company of the local MPP, Peter Tabbins, and Councillor Fletcher. They, along with so many others, have always stood alongside the incredible clinical role that is played here at Bridgepoint, or even in its successor names. My history with this hospital dates back to a time that I think a lot of us would like to forget. I had the chance to run a campaign at a hospital across the river which used to exist, called the Wellesley Hospital, the Staying Alive campaign. And in the same time frames and in the same sense, the threat that was then and became very real for that hospital was also very, very real for this one. And as a rookie MPP, then in opposition, I had a chance to voice on behalf of my constituents who depend very much on the services that are provided here at Bridgepoint, to express as strongly as I could the sheer necessity in making sure that we recognize that some people who have complex continuing care needs need a hospital with substantial capabilities to get them back in the game. This morning I was at the opening of Bellwoods Community Living, a beautiful community scale project not too far but a little bit on the other side of town. And one of the people that spoke there this morning was someone who had been before going to Bellwoods and having the opportunity with severe disability but to live in a dignified, independent living environment. That woman, in a way so passionate and way more effective than I can, brought tears to people's eyes this morning when she told of the months that she spent here that prepared her for the opportunity to live, perhaps for the first time in her whole life, with the kind of dignity that comes from independence. That is the mission of Bridgepoint. It's realized every single day, again, because of the capability of the incredible staff and the leadership team here that bring about these kind of everyday miracles. I'm very, very privileged to be part of a government that's been pretty dedicated to building hospital infrastructure. In the last number of years, we've moved so many projects forward, and I know for people that have been supportive of this one, it did seem a long time coming. The fact of the matter is that the Government of Ontario, in partnership with the communities and many of you that support Bridgepoint, we're going to invest $622 million in a new hospital. And over a 30-year lifespan of a contract, we're going to make sure that that hospital is kept in good running order every single day, with a commitment to life cycle costs that is different than what has been the traditional approach in the province of Ontario. What I like most about this hospital, beyond what it does for people, which of course is its core mission, is that I believe in the fundamental responsibility that those of us that are in government have to preserve heritage buildings. It is incredibly important that particularly as a relatively young country and a relatively young province and city, that those of us that are in public life take seriously the responsibilities associated with the incorporation of heritage buildings. And obviously the history of this one is going to make this hospital project one of the most remarkable ever to be seen in the history of the province of Ontario. In closing, I'll say one more time to all of those that have helped to make it possible, thank you so very much. And to those skilled trades, those women and men that will give lovingly of their trade in conditions sometimes better than others, we really just want to wish the contractors and all of those that will be laying on hands here to go about their work safely and with great anticipation on all of our parts as we look forward to the day when we will return to snip the ribbon and declare the new Bridgepoint open, so that Bridgepoint can continue to do what it does best, which is providing for the care and attention of the people that all of us love so much. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Minister. We couldn't have gotten here without your help, and we won't get to our vision without that support continuing as well. Thank you.